Okay, my name is Brian Fargo, CEO and Exile Entertainment.
So Brian, Wasteland 2 is coming to console. How does that make you feel, first of all?
I'm a console player too, but more than anything, I think it came out of the fact that my audience, who a bunch of them are saying we'd love to have this on console. We want to play. We want to sit on our couch and do it. Finally, we're able to bring it to them, so it's kind of cool.
How did you go about making the UI playable on an Xbox and PS4 controller?
Right, so the first thing, Wasteland 2 is a pretty complex game. It's a deep game. 80 to 100 hours to play. You're representing 6 different people or more, and you're swapping inventory items back and forth. So there's a lot of UI stuff that needed to be done. So we completely overhauled the UI as if it was a brand new product from scratch. And that was kind of the biggest engineering approach we had, because we had a final game. It was, how do we make it work great and be smooth? And we really looked at what had been done before us. XCOM did a great job. Diablo did a nice job from a UI perspective. So we looked at what came before us and kind of took the best of things that we really liked, and the result is that it works.
How has fan feedback on the PC version helped improve the console versions of the game?
We put the PC version in early access a good 8 months before we launched. So we've had tens of thousands of hours of people, even prior to the PC launch, beating on it, and that made the game a hell of a lot better. Then we put out the game under normal release for almost a year now, and that got beat up for a long time, and we got a ton of feedback from that. So the version the console people are seeing is almost like it's been through a near 2 years worth of just banging on, so they get the full benefit of everything that's happened before that.
What has next-gen hardware opened up for you as a game developer?
Next-gen hardware. Well, I think the biggest thing about the next-gen hardware is that we know what it can do, right? With the PC, which is very powerful, you have a lot of different configurations and a lot of things you have to sort of account for, whereas on the next-gen console, we know exactly what we're working with there. So it's able to kind of streamline a lot of the things that we do.
So this version is going to be a little different than the PC version. Besides the interface, can you talk about the differences between the two?
Right. So, like I said, not only did we do a UI overhaul, but there was a lot of other things we wanted to do also. So, for example, there was everybody loves the Fallout traits system. We did the perks and quirks system for Wasteland 2, and it gives it a lot of personality, a lot of replayability. Also, there's so much personality with the NPCs and them barking and talking, but a lot of that was text-based from before. Now we have another 40,000 lines of audio of all the characters talking. We did a whole new pass with the combat system. We also, because of Switch to Unity 5, we brought all the graphics up to another level, did a lot of lighting models and things like that, so it just graphically looks a lot better. And because we can do more with the camera, we're able to move the camera around, do some more dramatic cutscenes, where before it was sort of straight down, more straightforward. So, sort of off the top of my head, those are some of the big features that we changed.
For people that already have the game on PC, what are the reasons to buy it on the console?
Well, that's a tough question, because we're making the same things available for the PC. But I think that here's what I get. I guess the answer to that is that a lot of our players like to sit playing these games on the couch, and they like to sit there with a controller, and that comes back over and over again, which is they love the PC experience, but there's just a time and a place, and they're in that kind of mood, they want to lay in bed or whatever. So for that person, you get to sit back and get a controller experience where you're further away from the television, and if you're in the mood, I think it's a fun way to play.
And you're no fan. You're not a stranger to Kickstarter. It's now getting bigger. What are your thoughts on that since you started doing the Kickstarter for the first Wasteland?
Well, in many ways, I look at what's happening with Kickstarter lately, and I feel like the floodgates are definitely open at this point. You look at Sony going out last night and announcing to over 1 million eyeballs, and they were projected out to different movie theaters around the country saying, go back the Shenmue Kickstarter now. And they actually broke the system. And so they've done almost $3 million, and I don't think it's been 24 hours. I think that's a real game changer to me. So I think you're going to start to see some big parties come in with some heavy artillery looking to subsidize some of the things they want to do. So it's still good. It's still growing the ecosystem no matter what, and there's always a concern that the big guys are taking away from the small guys, which ironically I was considered the big guy. Now I'm the small guy again, because these guys are out doing a whole other level of things. But at the end of the day, I think you're going to find that Kickstarter is going to be used for any number of different models, and this is just another one we're seeing.
And when can people play Wasteland 2 on PS4 and Xbox One?
Well, we're trying to submit it here next month in July, so that puts us out at a sort of a August-September timeframe. We have to go through different checks with Sony and Microsoft, and so I don't have complete control over that, but we're kind of down towards the end, but certainly it's going to be well before Fallout 4 comes out.
And last question is, your Bard's Tale got funded, And how does that make you feel as a game developer that people really want to play your games?
Well, this last couple of years have been wonderful for me that, I've been in this business a long time, and sort of when I was at my pinnacle before, there wasn't much social media, and so it was real quiet for me for a while, and you're never sure what people remembered that you've done or how much they appreciated it. And so here you go out to Kickstarter, and you say, hey guys, I want to make this kind of game, and they're like, yes, we believe you. We're willing to give you our money up front because we believe you and we trust you, and that always feels great.